There's something magical about the smell of a book, whether it's fresh off the press or worn with age. But why do they smell so good? Is it nostalgia or science? Let's find out, shall we? Before we get into the details, let me know in the comments if you prefer the smell of new or old books. I personally like a bit of both, but there's something about new books that I really love. Okay, let's start with new books because while old and new books both smell good, they also smell different. But what makes this new book smell happen and why do we enjoy it so much? I'm going to be honest, while researching for this video, I didn't really expect there to be much science behind the smell of books. And while it's not that detailed, it's definitely there. So let's dive in. In all the research I did, there is one person who took this whole book smell thing seriously. Meet Andy Brunning, a chemistry teacher from Cambridge who decided to explore the secrets behind the smell of books. Studying their chemical makeup, he shared his discoveries on his website, where he shares many chemical compound infographics called Compound Interest. Andy shares that books are made from unique blends of paper, binding glues, and printing inks, which create a signature smell for each book. So let's take a look at some of the common things that go into this mix. The paper. The main ingredient of paper is, of course, wood pulp, which contains lignin and cellulose. This can give off a woody, earthy aroma if not masked by the chemicals used in production. The chemicals in question are used to treat the paper and can be anything from bleaching agents to additives that improve water resistance. All of these have their own unique, albeit subtle smell. Next we have the inks. They come in a variety of formulations, each with its own distinctive scent. Inks can be made from plant-based materials like soy, minerals like carbon black, or even synthetic chemicals like petroleum-based solvents. Again, all with their own subtle smells. And the glue. The adhesives and binding materials holding the book together also play a significant role in the scent. These materials can include glue, stitching, and even tapes, which all have a unique scent on their own. Because each book is printed using different types of paper, inks, and binding materials, no book has exactly the same scent. So when you're smelling a new book, you're actually smelling a combination of all of these things in their freshest form. This science wasn't satisfying to me in particular though, so I decided to smell a few of my newer books and see if I could pinpoint any particular smells. What I found was that although I wasn't very good at pinpointing exact scents, I did find that each book was actually different. That's not something I'd noticed before. Over time, this unique scent will actually change as the paper starts to very gradually break down, which brings us onto the smell of old books. While exploring the scent of new books, Andy Brunning also looked at the chemical makeup of the smell of old books. Because while new book smells are kind of hard to pinpoint, old book smells do have some more things in common. Imagine an old book as a fine wine or whiskey, with the paper, ink, and glue ingredients slowly breaking down over time and releasing a blend of flavorful scents. These scents come together to form a unique aroma. When the compounds within paper like cellulose and lignin start to break down over time, this produces a wide range of volatile organic compounds that contribute to the smell of old books. Unlike the smell of new books, we can actually pinpoint the specific smell that's coming from each of these compounds. Benzaldehyde, which gives off an almond-like scent. Vanillin, which smells like vanilla. Ethylbenzene and toluene, which give off sweet odors. And 2-ethylhexanol, which gives off a slightly floral note. Pretty cool, isn't it? All of these will combine depending on the materials that we use in the making of the book and in different quantities, but in general, old books all have that kind of sweet smell in common. But there's something missing from this concoction because I don't know about you, but most old books that I've smelled kind of smell a little bit musty. That musty smell entirely depends on how the book was cared for or stored over time. If left in a damp basement, you can bet it's gonna smell musty. But if resting on a sunlit window, its smell may be more sweet and clean. So while old books may have a more uniform and recognizable scent, there are still a lot of factors at play. You could say that the smell of an older book tells a story of how it was printed, cared for, and stored. It has its unique smell, just like you. But knowing the chemical makeup of why a book smells a certain way isn't really enough, is it? It doesn't really explain why we love the smell so much. It's time to talk about nostalgia. Our sense of smell is deeply connected to our emotions and memories. When we breathe in the aroma of a book, the scent molecules interact with the olfactory receptors in our nose, sending signals to our brain that evoke various emotions and memories associated with those scents. For example, the sweet vanilla-like scent of an old book may remind us of our grandparents' home or a beloved childhood library, while the crisp smell of a new book might evoke the excitement of starting a new adventure or the thrill of learning something new. These scent-triggered memories and emotions can create a sense of comfort, nostalgia, and relaxation, which can make the experience of reading a physical book even more enjoyable and rewarding. Research has even shown that certain scents can have a positive impact on our mood and well-being. The vanillin found in old books has been shown to have a calming and mood-enhancing properties, while the woody aroma of paper can have a grounding and relaxing effect. So the enticing sense of books not only connects us to our past and evoke positive emotions, but can also contribute to our overall well-being, making the experience of reading a physical book even more appealing and comforting. In a world increasingly dominated by digital screens, it's no wonder that we continue to cherish and seek out the unique sensory experiences that only physical books can provide. So next time you pick up a book, you might want to give it an extra sniff and see if you can pinpoint the smells within the book. Does it trigger emotions, memories, or thoughts? Or does it just smell really good? If you like this video and want more like it, check out the video on screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.